Hey guys. It's good to see everybody again. Hope you're doing good. It's been a great week, a lot of good things going. What's up, everybody? Having a great week. I hope everyone's getting prepared for everyone that's looking to do their refinances. Touch base with us for any assistance. And the market, as you know, a great opportunity to buy for those that are ready to pick up more properties. Aloha, how are you? Going on. In today's topic, what we're going to be talking about today is we're going to be talking about how lending is going to be qualified to get loans. Is going to be fewer people that can qualify to get loans. So that is what we're going to be 2 minutes. What's up, NYC? How are you? Questions answered. Make sure to put the questions in the comment section on YouTube, in the questions section on IG. Make sure that you ask to go live, because I know a lot of people have been asking me to answer their questions in the DM. I don't really have time. I get like hundreds of DMs, so I can't answer all the questions. So this is you can get into the details so you can get a really detailed quality question. It normally, depending on what the question you have, if you contact our firm, details that need to be, the research that. Right now, it's all free. So ask your question, ask to go live. You're going to get your answers. What's up, Toronto? What's up, Rosa? Yes, we can go. What's up, NFL? Dragon says, thanks for the help. I have a meeting with the bank tomorrow. Any tips for what I should talk about? Well, it depends on the meeting with the bank. If you're trying to get a job, explain how you can help the bank. If you're trying to get funding, explain about how you are a conservative borrower, and this would be a good asset on their books. What's up, Rosa? It's good to see everybody again. So, I'm doing good. The live event's a little bit sooner than normal, but been getting up at like early times. So 4, 5, 6. So I'm starting earlier, go to bed so I can start earlier. Difference between 5% down and 20% down payment. If you can put 20% down, that's better, because you can actually, the best if you can put down 25%, because then you actually have the best rate in terms and fees. So you get lower fees and a better rate at 25% down. And if it's an owner-occupied property, you can then go get a line of credit and extract back most of your down payment. So what's my take on it again? I said 25% is actually the best, but if you don't have it and you find an amazing opportunity, put down the 5%, get the property, let the asset go up, and then refi. So most of the people I'm working with right now, they bought a property a year or two ago. The property has gone up 20% since they bought it. Now we're going to be doing a refinance and getting rid of their PMI, because they have built-in equity, and getting them a lower interest rate. So it's really about finding the deal. So yeah, it's all about the deal, guys. All about the deal. The financing is a tool. Financing is just a tool. So don't worry about the financing. What's important is finding a great deal. Great property, great location. That's what's important. And actually, it's better if you find a great location with not the best property, and then you can upgrade the property. That's where you make your money. So Pascal's question is, what's up, Pascal? Why is it going to be hard to get a loan next year? Thanks for helping us dive right into our topic. The topic today of why is it going to be harder to get funding next year? So many Americans currently have experienced that the credit bureaus have readjusted the way that they assess credit scores. So the average American has seen about a 20 to 25% drop on their credit score. In addition to that, with many Americans losing their job, going into a kind of cycle that it's harder for them to find a job, and their consistency of income is going to come into question. It is going to be more difficult for people to be able to qualify for loans. So the factors that the bank looks at is credit score, down payment, and income amount. All of this assesses ability to repay. And if you don't have a really good credit score and a really good down payment, it's really going to be leaning on how good is your income source and how much is your income. For example, a police officer could have really bad credit and really low down payment, but it's easy for them to get a home loan because their job is very secure. Same thing with a nurse. A nurse can have a very bad credit and very little down payment, and it's not that hard for them to get a loan because their income is very stable. So when you are in a career that doesn't have a stable income, it can come into question when you're getting funding. So between credit scores being compressed, people's savings being eaten up, and their employment is not stable, it's going to make more Americans. It's going to make it more difficult for Americans to get financing. In our system in America today is not a cash system. We are a debt-based system. Our economy runs off of debt, right? About 97% of what's in circulation right now is debt-based. It's not really cash-based. So when you reduce the amount of debt, that's going to have a significant decrease in the amount of properties being purchased. So we're going to have some major losers and we're going to have some winners. So we're going to see major losers in New York, New Jersey, Chicago, California, Miami, like anywhere that's a very blue area and has a lot of international people coming, and a lot of international buyers. They're going to be hurt significantly because the dollar is going to be strong compared to foreign currencies. And that's going to make it more expensive for foreigners to come and buy properties here. So it's going to cause a reduction in the amount of people buying. And remember, it's a simple supply demand thing. So if there's less demand and more supply, the pricing is going to be in effect, which is normally going to cause the prices to go down. More supply, less demand, prices go down. Now, in addition to that, we're going to see, like, again, I think earlier this week, I spoke to one of my clients, and they were buying a condo in New York. Saw prices for the condos they were looking to buy go down about 10% already in New York City. And they're holding off because they believe it's going to go down some more. And I told them, yes, it is going to go down at least another 10 to 20% more, the condo prices. Around the world, they're probably going to go down because condos get hurt the worst normally. But specifically New York, LA, Chicago, they're going to go down a lot. Miami, condos are going to go down a lot. Now, in certain areas are going to benefit. Any areas that are going to be very good for taxes. So Florida in general, though, is going to do pretty good. I mean, it's still going to be affected and it's still going to be negative, but it's not going to be as negative as the rest of the world. So a lot of people that are going to retire. So 10,000 people a day turn 65 in America. So that's a lot of people going towards retirement or coming close to retirement. And they're going to end up wanting to go to states that don't have an income tax. Florida, Texas, Arizona. In addition to that, they're going to be looking to retire. So most likely they're going to come to these states because it's warmer, have great medical facilities here. So we're still going to be affected. And it's still not going to be great in Florida either, but it's not going to be as bad as some other areas. So based off of all those negative factors, it's going to be harder to find qualified buyers. Lending is going to be harder. And the market to purchase these debt, because remember, whenever someone's getting a loan, they're reselling the loan to somebody else. That market to purchase debt isn't going to be really that market isn't very large. Right now, the person purchasing all this debt is the government. But once post-election and they stop printing as much money as they're doing now, there's going to be less people available or less money available to purchase all of that debt. So I think that's going to make it harder to since there isn't going to be a market to purchase all of the loans available as well. So in the front end, there's going to be less people to qualify. In the back end, there's less people that want to buy this debt. And then after, right, interest rates are going to be held down to about the end of 2023. But after that, a lot of people are thinking interest rates are going to go up or start going up, which that means any of the loans packaged in the past, those loans are less valuable because the note on them isn't going to be that great. So it's any way you cut it, it's like it doesn't look good for bond purchasers. So it's very tough situation and to be in. So that is the reason why I think it's going to be harder to find financing in the future outside of the government-backed loans. It's going to be hard to find general, non-government backed financing. So obviously that's going to play an effect into pricing. That's my opinion on that. So what am I doing about it, right? Because everyone says their opinion. What are you doing about it? I'm doing all my refinances now. I'm trying to get all my refinances done on my multi-unit, on my house, and I'm trying to just get that over with. Anything that I'm not planning to keep for over 5 years, I'm selling now. So I'm selling one of my duplexes, I'm selling one of my 5 units, and I'm basically closing that chapter of my life, keeping only my bigger properties, refinancing those properties, stabilizing my assets, holding onto my cash, and waiting for the great opportunities to come. So in the amazing areas, there's certain markets, there's certain cities I want to be in, and certain parts of that city are very, very hard to get into. So I'm not looking to, to have, 80% price drops on these properties. If I get a 30% price drop on a property that I really want, I'm going to buy it. So normally when people are asking me, Pascal, I want to buy something now, should I do it? I never tell anyone don't buy right now. I normally tell them, are you getting it for 30% off of retail? And if the answer is no, then it might not be a good idea. I do believe in the retail, in the sense, when I say retail real estate, I'm not talking about commercial. I'm talking about like a single family home selling at retail. So if you're buying a single family home and in that area it normally sells for $500,000, I wouldn't buy it. Now, if I find one that's selling for like $350 and it can use maybe $30,000, $40,000 in repairs, that is something I would buy, but not something that's retail $500,000. I'm just buying it for $500,000. I don't think that's a good use of your money. I think there's going to be a better use for your money. So sometimes people will be like, oh, I've done this and that and the other, and I've done well financially. There's not a question of are you doing well. The way I look at things is investing in an optimal pattern, setting up your finances so you can make the most of your money. And that is really the suggestions I'm bringing. This is how to get the increase your probability of getting the best return for your money. All right, guys. So it says Toronto market is insane. So right now, is Toronto doing really well or really bad? Because I'm going to think Toronto is not going to do very well in the future. I think Toronto is going to get hurt, kind of like New York or LA. So someone said, I just bought my first townhouse 4 years ago and just took occupancy. If you just took occupancy, you can probably do a refi since it's owner occupied now. And since you bought it 4 years ago, you probably have a lot of equity in it. So it might be a good time to do a refinance and get a lower interest rate. And if you had PMI, remove the PMI. Can you cash out me? Can you give me a loan? Me in Texas. No. Ray says, hey, Pascal, do you think there will be a real estate price crash next year? I think real estate will start going down after May of 2021. Yes, I do believe so. Lucy says, hey, Pascal, blue areas? I don't understand. What do you mean by blue areas?
You mentioned blue areas. Blue areas will tend.
Yes. So what I mean by blue, do your favorite. So what do I mean by blue areas? Meaning if they're Democratic states normally don't do very well when the market goes down. And like Miami, even though Florida is kind of a Republican state, Miami is actually a blue area. It's pretty Democratic. Normally they don't do very well. If you just look in the past, they during a recession, they don't do very well. One, their taxes are really high, so their taxes take more of an effect when business isn't doing very well. They have a lot of social services, and that can kind of bog things down when you don't have the money to pay for them. So like in New York, right now, they're not collecting enough money in taxes, so they actually had to lay off a lot of the police force because they can't afford to pay them. So it's a big ripple effect of things that cause it to really bog down their cities and states, because when the economy isn't doing well in those areas, those states normally do worse. Journey says, should I refinance or get a home equity loan? I bought an affordable unit in 2016. Want to keep it due to equity built, but don't know whether to refi or do a home equity to buy an investment property. So the question for you is, what is your interest rate? What is your current interest rate on your property? Because if your interest rate is high, by doing a refinance, you're lowering your interest rate. You might not even take out equity while you're doing the refinance. You might just lower the interest rate and lower your payment. So one of the clients I'm working on right now, they have about 75% loan to value currently. So we're going to do a refinance and take no equity out of this deal, because to do a cash out refinance right now, it's a lot in fees. And if you're not getting a significant amount of cash out, it just doesn't make financial sense. So if it doesn't make sense, I'll tell you, it's not worth doing cash out. But it is worth it to do just a straight, it's called a rate and term refinance, which means you're not taking any money out, you're just lowering your interest rate. They're currently paying like 4.75%, and I'm getting them down to 1.99%. So that was going to lower their payment, and that lower payment is going to help them in their cash flow. By having a better cash flow, they can more easily qualify for a home equity line of credit. And that's part of the full picture. And then they can use that home equity line of credit for whatever they see fit. So you're currently at 3.25. Run the numbers. See if you can. I don't do loans in Hawaii right now. So run your numbers with a local broker and see what you would get at, say, 2.5, 2.25, 1.99. See what it's going to cost. It is a lot of right now to do a refinance, but bundle the fees into the loan and see what your new payment comes to, and see how much money you're saving, and see what the return on investment is. MJ says his interest rate's 5%. Obviously, if MJ, you can get a loan at 2.5 or better, 2.5% is a lot. I mean, 2.5 on $100,000 is $2,500 a year. On $400,000, that's $10,000 a year in interest. So even if it costs you $30,000 to refinance, your return on investment is 33%. It's a good deal. So remember, guys, don't look at the dollar amounts. The dollars don't always matter, because sometimes when you start getting into the big dollars, the larger figures, it kind of can get scary. but run the numbers. See if the return on investment is good. That's what really matters, the return on investment. You're welcome, Lucy. All right. Come on, guys, send in those questions. I want to be able to answer all of them. So how do I get around getting a cosigner? Really, that depends on what is the reason you need a cosigner. Is it because of your credit? Obviously, you need help increase your credit. Is it the amount of down payment? There's a lot of ways to get assistance from different programs for down payment. Is it your cash flow? There's different ways you can try to tweak your loan to get the payment lower. So it depends on what is the reason you need a cosigner. All right, guys. Lots of great questions. All right. I'm waiting for this thing to go live. Let's see if it works. My neck is sore. So I had a guy call me, hold on. I had a guy call me from New York and he wanted to know about investing with me in Florida. And he asked me what, that he was interested in apartment complexes and things like that, and he wants to invest in them. And he said, what am I looking to invest in once the market goes down? And I was telling him, I want to buy restaurants, I want to buy small plazas, and those are two of the things I mentioned to him that I wanted to buy. And he said, well, why do you want to buy restaurants? They're going to do really bad. I said, initially, restaurants are going to do bad. Initially, they are going to do bad. But after the market crashes and things settle down, restaurants in the right area, in great cities, they're actually going to do really well. People are going to get back to work, and a lot of people are going to work from home. And they're not going to want to cook when they're done working. So I believe a lot more people are going to be ordering food and getting it delivered. So I think restaurants in the right area, in like good cities, great locations, are going to do well. And it's for me, I'm not going to be the restaurant owner. I'm just going to be the building owner, and the restaurant's just going to pay rent. So that's one of the things I'm looking for. Do you do mentorship programs? I have a course. It's called Foundations of Personal Finance. That actually teaches you a lot. It got me this information that I used to get from no apartments at 19 to 23 units by the age of 23. So it's going to teach you a lot of what you need to know for your foundations of personal finance to make sure you're not making any mistakes that's going to hold you back later. And that's really what it is people's mistakes, their misconceptions, that they start doing things they think is going to help them, but really doesn't, and then it hurts them later. The other thing is small plazas. Like, well, why would you want to be in small plazas? Are you talking about like plazas with like anchor tenants and so on? I said, no, actually, I'm not interested in those big plazas. I might buy some, but I'm actually talking about small plazas in the sense of, something that's maybe 10,000 square feet with 10 different tenants, and each of them are 1,000 square feet, with a barber in it, nail salon, dry cleaners, so hearing aid, eyeglasses, things that it'd be more difficult to buy off of like Amazon and online. Things that need to be more local, where you also kind of build a relationship with the person. because the world's going to get very bifurcated. You're seeing it more and more and more, and it's going to continue to go that way. It's going to be the super rich and the poor, low middle class. Because unfortunately, it's not just that the poor, things are getting more expensive, and based off of their income, the poor can't survive. It's unfortunate the poor aren't very educated financially and job-wise, so it's harder for them to find a job that pays more because they don't really have a skill set to pay more, to get paid more. So it's a very tough position to be in, and it's, you got to climb your way up, and it's really tough to do that. Gerald says, no, Gabe, he just looks Hispanic. Yes, that is correct. I am not Hispanic. I just look Hispanic. That's funny. I get it all the time. Hey, what's up, Celia? Jay says, my wife and I recently bought a home in December. I was thinking of getting a refinance. I also want to invest. Would I be better off having her refinance again in her name so I can buy an investment? So in general, normally, I don't think it's a good idea for both spouses or both business partners to be on the same loan. I think one should get the loan and then one could get a different loan, because there usually isn't a reason for both people to be on a loan. In the rare situation there is a reason, it could be like the husband makes the money, but the wife has a better credit score, so combined they get a better deal overall. That can sometimes be the situation, but overall, I would say no. One person should get the loan, not both people. Now, I'm actually right now my Granite guy. He bought a home in December, and since then he upgraded it a lot. So his house went from like 370 to like 520 in price. And so now we're looking to do a refinance for him, and he's going to be under, 80% loan to value, which is going to get him, remove the PMI, get him a lot better interest rate, and save, I think it's going to save roughly like $600 to $700 a month on his payment. So he's not getting any cash out, but saving $600 to $700 a month on your payment is awesome. And again, he doesn't have to pay any money, because what we're going to do is roll in the closing costs into the loan. So even with the loan going up in value, because the loan's higher now since we're adding in the closing costs, he's still saving about $600 a month on his mortgage. So yes, that's a good way to increase your cash flow. And then at that point, you can always look into getting a home equity line of credit for additional cash. And normally at that point, that extra $600 could cover the line of credit that he would get. Say he gets a $140,000 line of credit. That's roughly a $600 payment. So that's awesome. Having basically the same exact payment as you did before, but now you have a line of credit that you have $140,000 in cash at your availability. So, all right. I read the comment. Okay, blocked. So, any other question, guys? All right. Well, it's great seeing everybody. I hope everyone has an awesome week. I'll see you guys. I'm going to try to get live again Sunday night and answer any of your questions. Hope you guys have a blessed day, and see you later.